is do a wrap up for me. I mean, you've used terms that some of my audience and I might have trouble putting in perspective. What do these facts mean? What is your conclusion? What happened at 9/11? Chuck Boldwyn is my guest, and he's done a tremendous amount of research. The research is linked up on the freeamerican.com to this site. This is something the 9/11 scholars have not looked at. No, don't want to hear about. Haven't talked to you about, and I'm surprised that you haven't been on more talk shows talking about this. But give me a wrap up. Give me a summary here. So if somebody just came in, somebody just tuned in here, what happened at 9/11? Chuck Boldwyn, go ahead.
Well, what I did was to calculate how much energy would be required to take these buildings down. So to do this, you have to know the weight of the building, and you have to know the progressive weight of the building, which part weighs more than the other. Basically, you know that they weigh 500,000 tons. Okay, so you take the tower and I break it up into 7 cubes. Now, and I know the thickness at the bottom. I know at the top.
Okay, no. You. This is what the information you gave us before. That doesn't.
Okay.
The cubes don't mean nothing to me. How did it come down? How did it happen? What does this research mean? What does it mean? I mean, give me a tight summary here.
Okay. Once I figured out the energy, I tried to find out what does this energy mean. That how much can it support? And if you drop that, what it can support to the ground, how much energy would you get? So I got this energy, and I looked at the tables of energy for different things, like C4 going off so much TNT, and then I looked at the little boy atomic bomb, and it said 6.3 times 10 to the 13 joules of energy. Now what I did is I took that and divided that into the energy required to take the building down, how much it would support before it would allegedly collapse, with the safety factor used by New York, 5 or Skilling's 20. I used the 5 because everybody, including all the shills and propaganda people, say it's 5. That's the minimum New York City code. Okay, it turned out that my first calculation, when I divided the atomic bomb energy into the collapse energy that I got, 3.2 atomic bombs. And that's, each atomic bomb, little boy, is 15 kilotons, so that's 45 kilotons. And I'm saying that it's not one bomb. I said, you have suitcase nukes, you have grapefruit-sized nukes, and then you have, supposedly, the latest thing is matchbox-sized nukes. So, I don't know which ones they used, if it was suitcases, grapefruit, or matchbox, or how powerful they were. When you see
what about the theory about nanothermite being used to dissolve the steel?
Yes. I believe that nanothermite was used, especially on the cores on the 94th floor of the Twin Towers. If you take all the core columns and you put thermite bands around them on an angle, and let it all go through, the building will not collapse. But what will happen is that the core, no longer columns, if you got them on an angle, a 45-degree angle, they're going to want to slip down, okay? But they're still got all the outer columns. So all of the force now is just about going to be on all the outer columns. And what's going to happen is, since you don't have support from the core anymore, very little, because they're all been cut, it's going to make those columns bow in or out. And this did happen. You can see them in the video, and this is what they claim, is that in blowing those columns out, they're saying they melted from the fire, and that's what caused the bowing, because the cores were all melted. But they were literally blowing out with thermite, and then when they decided to take it down, after all the cores were taken out ahead of time for that particular floor. And the outer perimeter was all bowing in. And that's where they made up all their stuff about the trusses sagging and pulling it in, and all the other phony BS that they had out there, which was which was just simply a lie when they took out them cores. And then with the mini nukes, when they let them things go off with the pressure, the huge pressure, and we're talking about hundreds of thousands of degrees of temperature in Celsius, which is going to just obliterate everything. The concrete is all going to be pulverized, and all that force pushed out. So all of those columns up there broke at their joints. The bolts that were in the joints were all broken. When you look at those pictures, you see that the whole columns are intact and the bolts are broken, are missing. So that pressure from those things going out just knocked them all out. And as far as I could tell, that's what happened all the way down. But I could not see what actually was going on after about 20 or 30, maybe 30, 40 floors, because the dust that came up, you could not see anything. You could not see anything. You don't know if an atomic bomb underneath was blowing off in camouflage underneath it, because you couldn't see anything. You don't know if the mini nukes were still taking floor by floor or 2 or 3 floors at a time out. But this guy Kalazov, Dmitry Kalazov, he's saying that each one of those buildings is either 150 a megaton atomic bomb underneath it, and blew everything, just disappeared. But they're saying that 1,000 feet of the towers was missing, totally missing, which all this stuff is like coming new to me right now after 8 or 9 years and stuff. And it's like a whole new look at it. But he's got to convince everybody, and I'm willing to look at it. I'm saying that mini nukes probably took it out, because the amount of TNT you'd have to put in there would be in the tens of thousands. We're talking 50,000 tons or more of TNT you'd have to put in there. You have to cover the whole floors or paint the whole floors underneath the floors and everything. And that's a lot. 48 of the 50,000 tons of TNT brought into that building is very unfeasible. It's a lot, and a lot of work to apply it to all them floors. So you're convinced that
nukes were used in the World Trade Center and Building Number 7, obviously. What about the radiation? You don't know about 7?
I don't know if nukes were, but he's saying they planted a nuke under there too. But it probably wasn't as big. But he thinks there was it'd have to take about 200 kilotons, and they don't even make a bomb that big. He's saying there's a limit on it by the treaty of 150 megaton bomb. So I don't know why they set it at that. I mean, because that's going to blow anything. I don't know why they even set a limit on it. 150 megaton to blow everything up.
Hello, who do I have here?
This is Ed.
Yes, Ed.
How you guys?
I'm doing fine, sir. You're on with Chuck Boldwyn.
Yeah, hey, Chuck. I've listened to you a lot, but I got a question for you. When the buildings came down, the debris was almost ground level. And that is confirmable. You can confirm that.
I saw just a minute, Ed. What I saw girders sticking up. I saw debris piled up hundreds of feet, probably.
Well, I didn't see hundreds of feet of debris. It looked fairly level, and there was these parts of the building that were sticking straight up. The walls, the perimeter walls, the corner that didn't get blown up for each one of them. And this guy Kalazov, Russian guy, has a reason for that, because he talked about where they placed these atomic bombs underneath, and because of the placement, and they have a radius of a circle, it didn't take that out. He also explained how they put it at the back edge of World Trade Center 7, and if you draw a circle around it, it takes out part of the building behind it. Anyway, you'd have to see this video. If you put this guy's name, Dmitry Kalazov, C-H-A-L-I or E-Z-O-V, on YouTube. You'll get all these videos. He's